Women who got issues with men.
They started this shit.
Ayesha Curry type. We just keeping it real. Did y'all see that shit?
I don't know.
The Drake concert?
No.
Weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not even looking.
But I'm gonna tell you something else too.
So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that.
So you guys, Steph Curry is reportedly furious right now. And honestly, can anyone blame him? Because comedian Corey Holcomb just went off on his podcast, calling out Ayesha Curry in a way that shocked fans everywhere. And now, there are new rumors circulating about alleged private footage showing Ayesha getting a little too friendly with one of Steph's own teammates after a recent Drake concert. Yeah, it's that serious. Corey didn't hold back at all. He basically said out loud what many people have quietly speculated for years. To make things worse, he claimed that Ayesha was upset during the concert because Drake didn't pay her any attention, suggesting she couldn't handle being in the background while her husband was the one everyone was focused on. And according to him, this wasn't an isolated moment. He implied it's part of a larger pattern, that same craving for validation, that same restless energy she's been showing for years, even with all the love, fame, and success in her life. Now, if any of what he said turns out to be true, this could be the red flag Steph may have overlooked for far too long, and it might just be catching up with him. Fans are now connecting the dots, remembering that this isn't the first time someone's questioned Ayesha's need for attention, especially during that infamous Drake concert moment. At the time, everyone criticized him for it, calling him messy, disrespectful, and even jealous of their marriage. But now that the footage has reportedly leaked, people are starting to think he might have seen it coming all along. Back then, he described that concert moment vividly, how Ayesha seemed annoyed when Drake greeted Steph, but didn't show her the same energy. He said she wanted that validation so badly that by the time Drake tried to fix things by calling her a beautiful queen, the damage was already done.
Was so mad that Drake was speaking to her husband and not giving her all the credit. Look up the video.
I'm gonna have to watch
She
it.
probably thought Drake was flirting with her husband.
When Drake saw how upset she was, he said, and his beautiful queen, whatever, he tried to give her, but no, that wasn't good enough.
It was too.
And if what's being said is true, that her behavior after the concert really did cross a line, then maybe that rant wasn't just trash talk. Maybe it was a warning everyone ignored. Looking back, this didn't just happen out of nowhere. The signs were there for years. Even before all this drama exploded, Ayesha had made it clear she always wanted to be noticed. In one interview, she even admitted she never really wanted to get married or have kids. She said she saw herself as a career woman and that everything just moved too fast once she met Steph.
So I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that.
And maybe that's where everything started to shift, because from that moment on, it felt like Ayesha was constantly trying to prove she's more than just Steph Curry's wife. Then came that unforgettable red table talk moment, when she openly admitted that she missed getting attention from men. She literally said it. It sounds weird, but I like male attention. Even her mother-in-law, Sonia, warned her right there on camera that thinking like that could take her down a dangerous path. That one line stuck with people because it revealed everything they needed to know about what was really going on beneath the surface.
But like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
You're not looking.
What?
You're not
Like,
looking. You're not even looking.
But I'm gonna tell you something else too. When your radar's turned off, because I dealt with that for years too, like, and I was young, like you. Yeah, like, oh my God, I mean. Because I don't want it, but it'd be nice to know that, like, someone's looking. But when your radar's turned off, right.
And the wildest part? Every few years since that red table talk moment, Ayesha's done something that makes that old quote sound less like an innocent overshare and more like a full-on confession. Remember that time on The Reel when a shirtless waiter walked out and she pretended to take off her wedding ring? It was supposed to be a funny little moment, but no one was laughing. NBA fans went off, saying things like, "It's like she wants to act single but still keep that married status." And honestly, they kind of had a point. When your husband is one of the biggest names in sports and you're pretending to ditch your ring on national TV, it just looks bad. But it didn't stop there. During one of the NBA finals, she even tweeted that the league was rigged after Steph lost a game. Like what? She basically threw gasoline on the fire right in the middle of her husband's championship run. Fans couldn't believe it. Imagine your man out there fighting for another ring, and you're online accusing the league of cheating. That's not ride or die energy. That's chaos.
Mrs. Curry tweeted intimating that the league is fixed and they wanted this Game 7. That'll be part of the news. Steph is going to be on the off days, big part of this news, throwing the mouthpiece, hitting the fan.
And that's the thing about Ayesha. Every time she steps into the spotlight, something happens that leaves Steph dealing with the fallout. No matter how private he tries to stay, she somehow ends up making headlines, and not in the flattering kind of way. From the interviews to the tweets to these new rumors, it's all starting to look connected. Because when someone keeps showing you who they really are, at some point, you've got to believe them. Now, this is where things start getting a little too close for comfort, literally. According to online whispers, that same night after the Drake concert, Ayesha was allegedly spotted backstage, not with Steph, but chatting alone with one of his teammates. And people who claim to have seen it say the body language was questionable. Too relaxed. Too familiar. Like someone who forgot where the line was. Nobody's naming names yet, but the description lines up a little too perfectly with what that old podcast rant had warned about. An NBA wife getting too cozy with the wrong person. And honestly, it makes sense why this blew up so fast. The idea that she'd be sharing a private moment with someone from Steph's own circle, that's not just messy, that's betrayal on home court. Now, to be clear, nothing's been proven. It's all speculation for now. But even the possibility has people side-eyeing hard because we've seen this pattern before. Ayesha lingering a little too close behind the guys during post-game celebrations, laughing a little too hard, staying a little too long on camera, it's a pattern people can't ignore. And when you add that to her past admissions, the need for attention, the insecurities, the constant chase for validation, it's easy to see why this rumor hit like wildfire. And this isn't even the first time she's been called out for attention-seeking behavior. Remember back in March 2025 when she went viral for posting bikini photos from her birthday trip? She was celebrating turning 36 on a yacht with friends, rocking a gray leopard print swimsuit. It looked harmless at first, until people remembered she once shaded women for showing too much skin online. One person even commented, "Wasn't she the one judging women who post pics like this?" That's when the dots started connecting again. She's even mentioned in interviews that she's been in therapy for years, trying to find balance and focus on herself. But looking at everything now, maybe that therapy isn't just about self-care. Maybe it's about holding things together that have already started to crack.
If I have a career and I'm not home, like, did you experience that?
I still experience that. I still experience that. I'm always in therapy talking about this. What I realized is, like, if you lose, like, for me being married and like with my husband, if you lose all of those things that were interesting about.
And honestly, that says a lot, because if you zoom out and look at how Steph's been moving lately, it doesn't really look like a husband enjoying his marriage. It looks like a man trying to protect his image. He's always been patient, always defending Ayesha after every viral headline, brushing off awkward interviews, and even recently clapping back at Killer Mike when he smiles through the noise, pretending nothing ever shakes him. But insiders are now saying this time feels different. Then that's betrayal. Still, what's interesting is what Steph did right after that rumor caught fire. Just days later, he posted a family photo. Him, Ayesha, and the kids. All smiles, matching energy, perfect lighting, like a Hallmark postcard. But the timing was too convenient. Fans are saying it is a carefully staged bit of damage control disguised as domestic bliss. Now, the fan base is split. Some say Ayesha's just misunderstood, that she's been vulnerable about her insecurities, and people twist her words for drama. But others think Corey Holcomb just exposed what's really been going on. The reason Steph always seems to walk on eggshells when it comes to her public image. Because if that alleged footage turns out to be real, if she did cross lines with a teammate, that would explain everything. Steph's silence, the distant body language, and the sudden family photo drop. And maybe, just maybe, Corey didn't bring this up to be petty or messy. Maybe he said it as a warning, before things spiral even further out of control.